When I asked her about money the second time, she started insulting me through messages. She started sending relatives, those who live around and those who live far away. She could just send them, oh, enda umwambia hakuna pesa. Then she was like, nilimsomesha. So mimi nikajiuliza, if my mom took me to school and I'm not the only one. She has 4 children. She has taken all of us to school. She has even paid for my cousins. How comes I'm the first one to pay back her money? And even that was not the agreement. And what qualified me to go to Gulf was an ID and a birth certificate. Mbona unasema ati ni umejilipa? School papers didn't take me to that job. Why are you taking my money? And that was not the agreement. Then ikakuwa tu hivyo, she started threatening me, she started insulting me to an extent I told my dad. He didn't take an action. So I went to my dad's family. Those are my uncles. I told them, some were off, go to the police station, report have an OB, I don't know what, file a case. But some were like, don't do that. Because my mother had gotten hold of my documents. Like I didn't have anything, even an ID. So ikakuwa, wacha akupatie documents kwanza before you can proceed and do anything. So nikakuwa patient, but one day my dad tells me that...
Hello viewers, how are you doing? My name is Zarok Thomas and I want to welcome you back to yet another episode right here on Pashua TV. If you're joining us, thank you so much for clicking subscribe to this channel, and also don't forget to turn on that notification bell icon so that whenever we upload new videos right here on Pashua TV, you'll be the first one to get notified. Also, we have turned on that join button. There is a join button right down here near the subscribe button where you can join to support our journey in creating quality content. You can just click that button right there and buy your favorite pack to enable us to keep on creating content for you guys. Today, I have a special guest here who will be taking us through her story. Imagine growing up in a toxic family, toxic parents, then later on you struggle in life, you find yourself abroad thinking that you went for greener pastures. Then you really work hard, going through a lot abroad. Then when you come back at home, you find nothing, despite the fact that you have been sending money home in the form of savings, hoping that maybe you'll come back from abroad, then come and invest and live a good life. When you come back from abroad, you come back home and see poverty staring at you. All your savings are not there. That's the story that we're going to be listening to from our guest today. Welcome to our episode right here on Pashua TV. So maybe for the person who is watching you for the first time, what's your name?
Okay, my beautiful name is Namikoya Kisiangani, and I'm a daughter to Mr. Kisiangani, hailing from Maisha Mapya in Tongarini constituency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maisha Mapya is a place?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I've never heard of the place. Yeah, so welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for having me here in your platform. It means so much to me because I really wanted to speak out my mind and my heart and how I feel. It has been very heavy on me, and I didn't know how to navigate through whatever I've gone through, because to me it has been a shock. And before I could even maybe try to understand what I was going through, I was just going through from confusion to confusion, and it took me time before understanding the real thing. And I'm now in a space of accepting what happened. I'm here to give my story. I'm so grateful to have this opportunity because it has been very heavy on me, and I didn't know how to navigate through what I was going through, because my story is just the same as other stories I also had, and I didn't believe to the extent that I had watched or listened to what has been happening to people. But I'm one person who is battling whatever I've had, and I'm here to give my story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe for the benefit of the viewer, how did you find yourself in such a story, in such a life? Maybe from the start, from where you were born,
Yeah.
your career.
I'm born in a family of 4 siblings, 1 brother and 3 sisters. And as I was growing up, one thing that I know for sure is that I've not grown up with a motherly love, and my mom has not been close to me, maybe because of situations and circumstances that could not allow her. When I was born, my mom left me for college. She went to Igoji TTC and she left me with 3 months under the care of my grandmother.
Oh, sorry.
Then there's something that I couldn't understand because I was taken to my dad's side to be maybe brought up at that tender age. But unfortunately, I was not raised there. So I was taken to my maternal home. That is my mother's mom, my grandmother, and my maternal uncles. And so I stayed there for a while. And then it came a time that my dad told me that the family was so big because, as you know, the African family and the grandmas, the family is so big, and maybe the children who are born outside the wedlock, you know, all of them are there. So my dad felt like maybe I didn't get maybe enough care, and so he decided to take me. And I went to start staying with my dad and my dad's sister, that is my paternal aunt, in Ruiru. So I can say that I have had my tender age both in Western and in Ruiru.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for how long did you stay in Limuru? Ruiru?
In Ruiru. I think I stayed there for quite some time until my mom finished college. But what I can remember is that when I started my kindergarten classes, my mom was teaching at a place called St. Mary's Socio, that is Kamkoyo.
Okay.
So we stayed there for a while, and then my mom got a transfer to a place called Binyenya. So we moved from Socio primary, that from the marketplace, because we are staying in a rented place, and then we went and settled where we are currently as a family. So that is how my school life started officially, and I went to Binyenya Primary School for my kindergarten and my lower classes. Later on, I went to Ndalu Primary for my class 3 and 4. Then I went back to Ruiru, stayed with my dad and the very aunt that I was staying with when I was a toddler, back in Ruiru for around 2 years. And then again, we were transferred, me and my sister who follows me. We came back and we joined another private school called Joindalu Academy at Ndalu. And then again, I went back to Ndalu Primary School. That is where I did my class 8, and I joined Kaimusi Girls High School for my Form 1 and Form 2. But again, I didn't finish there. Again, I was transferred. My parents had separated when I was in Form 3, and it is kind of a family thing that maybe I'm not able to disclose every detail here, but at first my mother wanted to go far away from where my dad was, and I think she had chosen to go to Mumias, but my grandmother was still alive. So my grandmother was a cancer patient, and she kind of told my mom, because she was the one taking care of her financially, you should not get a transfer that is far away from where I am, so that maybe when she needed maybe medical care, my mother could be around. So she cancelled that transfer from Mumias to a place called Naitiri. So we went, stayed with my mom for a while, but again, something happened again, and so my mom received a call that my dad had sold a piece of land, and so it raised a lot of concern and insecurities to us. And so my mom decided to chase us to go back and stay with my dad. So when we went back to stay with my dad, it happened that my 2 sisters, they were younger than me. So one had registered for class 8, and my last born sister was too young. She couldn't stay with my dad. So the only sheep that was to be sacrificed was me, because I was in Form 3, and so I had to stay back.
You are the firstborn?
No, the second born. I follow my brother, but he had cleared his diploma at most, and so he was just looking for something to do in the meantime before he joined his bachelor course.
Okay.
So because I was the one who was in school, my mom was kind of, go back home to your dad so that he can pay school fees, because he has sold the land and he's maybe spending the money alone, and I'm here suffering, you know. And that was a result of her promising us that I want to go with you because your dad is jobless, and you know what, I'll make sure that you go to school, you obtain degrees, you'll be better people, you'll come back driving. That is what she told us. And so on that note, we were like, yeah, this is a good idea. And that is how my mom won us. I remember it was in January 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, so again, I was back during elections of 2013. I was with my dad, and that is how I happened to stay with my dad until sometimes back when my mother joined us again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a fight, not a formal divorce.
Yeah, it was not a formal divorce, but both families were involved, I remember. And the sad part is that when they had a meeting, I think they wrote something down, and then when they did the writing, my mother just tore the paper, and then she just left them on the table. And then I was the one who cooked, and unfortunately, my mom just took the cups of tea that I had poured for her and my uncles from the maternal side, and she just poured back the tea in the kettle. She didn't take tea. She took her cup, put back the tea in the kettle. Then she took all the cups, all the mugs that I had served, and just returned them. And to me, I couldn't even maybe just take it as like, why are you doing this? Then I'm the one who cooked and my mom didn't eat. So the ending was so bad, and mom, she just went back with her dad. My grandfather was still alive at that time. Even my grandmother from my mother's side. And so she went back, and leaving me with the dad and my siblings, it was not an easy thing, because most of the time you could find that my dad is not home and I was the one taking care of everything at home. And I can really say that divorce and separation is not a good thing, especially to children, maybe possibly who are under the age of 18, because what I remember is that 10 years down the line, I'm still battling the consequences of my parents' divorce. Yeah, until now. For me personally, I've not discussed this with my siblings, and I can't tell how they feel, how it has affected them. But as for me personally, I know that it has done a lot of damage on my side. And you know, there are no even conversations that you went through this, maybe it happens, maybe it was beyond my parents maybe control, and how are they even helping us to heal and maybe be better people. But for me, I still feel like, yeah, I'm still carrying the weight of their separation, but I'm glad that there are things that I'm learning at this season, and I'm accepting, and I'm trying to rebuild from the lessons that I've gotten from my life and from the family that I come from. Yeah, though it is not easy to stand alone without someone holding your hand, especially maybe you're going through something, maybe as a daughter or a son, and you don't have your mother or your father or your, both of your parents just to hold your back and show you your way. And even in my story, there is a way that I feel that my parents have contributed to my pain and to where I am today. And my heart grieves. That is what I can say. My heart grieves, and I'm not okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So, what was this source of rivalry between you personally and your mom?
Oh, that is a deep question, because I remember when I came back from where my mom was, you know, what transpired before even my mom received a call that my dad had sold. And I'm talking about a clan's land. This land belongs to my grandfather. Then you know how they divide the inheritance.
Yes.
So during the elections, I think all schools in Kenya, that is back in 2013, all the schools in Kenya had a break. It was kind of a half term. And so at that time, I was in Form 3. And so when we went home, now I was staying with my mom. So when we had the short break, I had a phone. My dad had given me a certain phone. And so I used to communicate with my dad, and I could even give my siblings, my younger sisters, and they could we could go outside the gate and talk to my dad. Then I think there is one of my mother's colleagues, staff mates. She told her, "Do you know what, your elder daughter? She's giving the younger siblings phone to talk to their father." So it started at that point. So hapo ndo nuksi ilianzia. But what came maybe now to make things worse is when my mother received a call, and also there is a last born brother to my mom. The wife came to visit us, and I can't tell what she came for, but what I can remember is that we were washing clothes outside, me and my sister who follows me, and the last born was washing utensils in the house. Then we just heard a shout from the house, and my mom was like, come here. So when we went, my mom was not the same person that we know. She had just changed all of a sudden, and she started beating us. She started insulting us and telling us that we should go back to our dad. So in that moment, it was in the evening, and it had really rained. And then my aunt told my mom, "Don't send your kids back because it's muddy and it's not even safe. Just wait until tomorrow." So my mother had beaten us. Actually, as for me, alikuwa shatoa ile mpini ya jembe ananipiga nayo. And I can't say that maybe I knew my right, or maybe I was a teenager, could fight back. But what I remember telling her is that, "Don't beat me. I'll go back to my father." So she told me, "Tomorrow morning when you wake up, the first thing is just pack your things and go back home. So go back to your dad." So when I woke up, I even didn't tell my younger sisters. I just took my suitcase and walked all the way from Naitiri to my place. It's very far, like 200 shillings off-road, off tarmac on a motorbike. So I walked and I went, and what I remember is that when I reached home, my dad looked at me and he just cried. No. My dad just cried and he said, "Welcome back, you're back to me, and this is where you belong, because that is home, and we're staying in the rental place. And I'm not here to maybe judge my mom or my dad for what they did. I cannot understand because in high school I have been in a boarding school, so I cannot be in a better position just to understand what they have been going through in their marriage." And so at that point is you asked a question about what really transpired between me and my mom. So when I went, I stayed for a while. And then one day, my mom, when she came back, my grandmother was at her dying point. And so she called my mom and said, currently you are maybe the only one who is in marriage. And I don't want to die when you are still on the rental. So my mom had to come back, not because maybe probably she wanted, but because my grandmother told her to come back to her marital home. And that is when my mother organized and she came back. So I just came from school and I found my mom home. And during that moment, so it came to December 2013. And one day just woke up, and my uncle, that is my last born mom's brother, he had a church just around our village. So I woke up in the morning, we had fasting, I can remember. And so I greeted my mom in the morning and I was like, "Mom, good morning." And her response was shocking, and I couldn't really understand because she just told me hatutakuwa wanawake wawili kwa hii boma. So I was shocked, like, why is she saying so? And as for me, my spirit, sometimes when things happen, your spirit will just lead you on what to do. Your spirit will feel it. And as for me, I just told myself, like, even I'm not showering, and because it is fasting, let me just prepare tea and leave for church. So when I prepared breakfast and left for church, I came back. It was in the afternoon. Actually, I think it was the last day of fasting. And then I found my mom and my brother. They were in the kitchen, and I overheard personally my mom talking to her brother's daughter and telling her that and she said in Luya that Senje, leo mmoja wao lazima atakufa kati yake na babake. Then definitely I just knew it was me. So what I did, I had a 200 shillings note in my bedroom, and so I passed via the main door because my bedroom was like my bedroom, a small living room, and then the veranda. So I just said like, let me just go grab the 200 shillings note and then leave. But my mom came through the back door, that is from the kitchen to the veranda to the main house, through the rooms, and then she came to my bedroom. Then at that moment she started beating me. So she beat me and I started screaming. But what I really felt bad about was that even if there was an evidence or maybe anything had happened, at least my brother would have intervened, because when I remember I was in Form 3 and my brother had cleared his diploma. So my brother was mature enough to intervene because it was between life and death. But what I remember is that my brother, I never saw the face of my brother. So I kept screaming, and unfortunately the other side, because there was an anniversary, our neighbor had passed on, and so they were doing anniversary, so there was loud music on this side, and she was our immediate neighbor, so she couldn't come to rescue me. So as I continued screaming and my mom was pulling off my braid and she was hitting me blows and she was scratching my face, and I was really screaming for help. So neighbors came from the road, you know. They came from far place just to come and rescue me. And then my mom locked me inside my bedroom. Then she went with the key. And the statement that I can remember is that she told me, ati nitakuwekea kesi. That is what she said. Then she locked me in the room. That time I remember walikuwa wamepika kuku mbili na chapo. So you can imagine you've been locked there. Then they are just on the table eating. And then later on my dad came. Alikuwa ameenda kubeba, there was a neighbor who was doing a wedding, so he had been hired. So when my dad came, we have an outside bathroom, so my dad passed through my bedroom window as he was going to the bathroom, and so I started crying like, Dad, nimepigwa, nimeumizwa. And to my shock, my dad even never dared even to just even come closer, not even asking why or what. And then something that even hurts me the more is that you are my dad, you are the father of the home, this is your wife, this is your child, this involves you. My dad just kept quiet and they both went and had their meal there. Like, you know, what I'm just trying to think is that, like, how did my dad even get the courage to eat food, and yet I was crying. And you know, my room, it was like a cell because you know the windows have grills, like literally, and the door is locked from outside with a padlock. So I'm just crying like a prisoner there. And my dad even didn't even come close, just went, showered, and then passed, you know, and went back to the house. They had their dinner. And what I did is that time our house didn't have a ceiling board, so I put another plastic box on top of my bed, and then got some few of my clothes. I nikapanda juu ya hiyo box, and then I jumped over to the other room that is a store, and it has an emergency window, and that is how I escaped. It was around I think 9 p.m. and so I just went via the bush, and then nikafika kwa barabara. Fortunately I got someone with a motorbike, and I told him like I recognized the person, and I was like, Baba Leni, nimepigwa, nimeumizwa. Then he asked me, how can I help you? Nikamwambia, take me to my aunt, that is a distant relative to my dad. Then he took me there. My aunt just saw me and she cried. And you know, I had been beaten to an extent that I couldn't even chew rice. Yeah, so when we reached, my aunt was, she had served rice and milk. Nilikuwa nimepigwa, my jaws could not even chew rice. So I just took the milk, and the following day my aunt was like, this case is beyond me because I'm not close to you. So let me take you to your aunt, who is the firstborn sister to my dad, because it was just a walk away distance. So we went to my aunt Miriam, and then the two of them were like, if you did it, then we want to do a cleansing maybe thing because maybe it will affect you in future when you get married. Or they talked a lot that I couldn't understand because I was only in Form 3. And so I told them I didn't do it. And so maybe that was the genesis of the hatred. Yeah, so and after I went back, and I think my mom went back, and I went to my cousin. She used to stay in Kimilili. Stayed with her for a while, and now my uncle, the one who had a church, he came for me at Kimilili. Then my dad took me back to school in Form 4. So I was there for a year, cleared my high school, went back home, and after that year, that is 2014, my mom was home at that time. And then it was just a week. I remember clearing my KCC, I think it was on a Friday 7th. And then on Friday, on 14th, my mom chased me away from home again. And at this time, it was because I had gone to see one of my friends. She was pregnant and she had given birth. And the sister-in-law called me like, why can't you just come and say hi to Maureen? So I went, and when I came back, it was around 5, and I started cooking. My mom just came, and my dad was in the kitchen, unfortunately, again. Then my mom just told me, stand up. You know, I was cooking ugali, and I had just cooked half. She just told me, stand up and let my last born sister to finish cooking. She told me, just go and pack. And if it reaches tomorrow morning, if I find you in this house, I'll do the worst more than the nitakuvunja mguu. I'll do the worst than what I did to you last year. So I was so scared. Imagine again for the second time, my dad is at home. He's not speaking for me. Maybe even if I did a mistake, but I didn't come at night. It was just around 5, and I had notified my mom that I'm coming, but it is late because it has rained, you know. My dad just kept quiet. Then that night I was denied food again. Then I woke up in the morning and left again. So that led me to be just wandering from one relative to another. Yeah.
So you are undergoing all this bad treatment in the hands of your biological parents.
Yeah, mom. In fact, I really resemble my mom. And my dad is just there. It's not like he's being told. He's just watching me being denied food, being assaulted, being threatened. And there's nothing he's saying. He's like, you know, this is how your mom is. And now I don't know where to seek justice. So at that moment, I stay for like a year, just moving from one relative to another, and terrible things happened to me. There are things that I went through, and it has taken me 10 years just to open up and send my dad a message and tell him that, Dad, you know, when you are not in my life, you made me go through this and this. I don't know how to heal. I don't know how to forgive you because there are things that I cannot even say on camera. There are terrible things. Yeah, very terrible things. Like my life was in danger, you know. And at that moment, I even started drinking and just doing other terrible things. Yeah, and I felt like my world was shattered. So after a year, my dad calls me back just to go and join college. He sells a piece of land, but he elopes with the money. You know, at this moment, I'm coming back with a calling letter, and we've done some preparation. The money is not there. To cut the long story short, I didn't join college. Then again, I leave home. After leaving home is when I'm going to look for a job, and in the meantime, I had one of my friends, and we had not seen each other for over a year, and he's like, why can't you come and see me? And so when I go see him, he's being called to go and maybe, I think, to cover a certain documentary. He leaves me at his place. I was new. There was nothing in the house, no sufurias, nothing to cook, no water. Like, I think he was eating from a friend's place. So he left me for 3 days. Coming back, I had spent half of my fare because I was heading to Mombasa. I spent half of my fare. When he came back, he was not paid. I sold my phone, and that is how I started staying with that guy. Yeah, and fortunately, after like 4 months, my aunt calls me, that is cousin to my mom, and she promises to take me to school, and that is how I started my college life. So I joined Moi for hotel and for hotel and restaurant management.
That's Eldoret.
Yeah, that is Eldoret. So our classes were at Kips Plaza, just next to the railway at Kipchoge Keino Stadium, on your way to, I think, Iten.
Yes.
So I was there for my diploma. That was 2 years. But in the 2 years again, I've joined the college. I've not made any agreement with this person. Like, this is not even my man, and we've just come together because of, I don't know, fate. I don't know.
Circumstances.
Circumstances. It is something that I didn't want, but my mind is like, should I drop him or should I continue the relationship? And so, because I was still young and naive.
You're just barely 18.
Yeah, I was barely 18. I remember I got my ID when I was in his house. Yeah, so by that time, I just start seeing some strange behaviors in him. But actually, I think I've come to know what red flags are at the age of maybe 27 years. I didn't know red flags. I didn't know. All I knew is that what he was doing to me was not fair. Yeah, I just knew that he wasn't treating me right. But at this moment, I'm quiet, and come 2016 April, towards May now, I join my course in hospitality, and all goes on well. But in my relationship, there were a lot of dramas, and he could assault me, he could insult me, and he could put a lot of pressures on me.
Was he young as well?
No, he was not. He was not. I think we had a difference of 13 years in age.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if he was way older than me.
He could be early 30s at that time.
Yeah, at that time I think he was 35 to 37.
Oh.
Because currently I think he's 43. He's heading to 44. And I'm just in my early 30s.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know if he knew a lot. I don't know. I really can't tell why he did whatever he did. Maybe because I was young and I didn't know a lot. I was not exposed, just a village girl, naive. And so I just decided to hang on. I didn't know what to do because, I have had a strained relationship with my mom all along. And at some point, my mom could tell me that niende na shida ikinipata nisiwahi rudi. So I've never gone back home. That actually maybe something is bothering me. I always try to figure out, like, I've even been to Mombasa, I've even been to Kaimosi, I've even been to Eldoret. Like, I would just seek comfort and solution somewhere else, but I couldn't go home. So when I joined college, few months to my schooling, I get pregnant. But unfortunately, again, I miscarry. And so after miscarriage, my aunt stopped paying my school fees, and I dropped out again. I started selling mandazis and chapatis, and school was done. I carried everything, and I went back now to officially start staying with this guy. So we stay again, and then this guy assaults me.
The same guy?
Yeah, the same guy. He assaults me again. That is, it was 2017, if I can remember. It was on a Friday, and then we had elections on a Tuesday. I had just come from school, and then things were not really well with us. And then I said, I want to go back to my parents' home. But I remember I had some household stuffs, and I'm kind of, let me drop them first so that I can go home, maybe just I just have my own time and just listen to myself before maybe going to his place or maybe deciding on what to do. But again, at this moment, I'm assaulted, and instead of going to my home, I went to his home, and I told the mother about the scenario and everything. But the mother just keeps quiet, and at that moment, I knew that I was alone in that relationship. Yeah. And then after the miscarriage, I dropped out of school for like a whole year. I was not in school. And there was no initiative of him or the family taking me back to school, until my mom went for a loan that was 29,000, and then for the last semester she went for a loan of 40,200. She cleared my fee and I went back to school. And then after that, this guy was working on my project. So I was planning to leave, but how could I have left? Because I didn't know a lot about writing a project. And so when he was working on it, he realized that I wanted to leave him. So he delayed again for another 1 year. And at that moment, I was like, okay, let me try and just maybe see what I can do in this relationship. I could pray. I could literally fast, I could do everything that I could just in my capacity just to sustain that relationship. But again, he assaults me again in 2020. And at that moment, it was just a wake-up call because he really assaulted me badly. Like he was just giving me blows on my head, my neck, and my ribs. And something just told me that this person can even stab you with a knife. And so I can't even tell how I opened the door because we had locked the door and there was a power blackout. At that moment, I ran to one of my neighbors and I tell her what happened. And it had really rained and I didn't even have shoes on my legs. I was just running on mud. And I told her like, hey, Purity, nimepigwa, nimeumizwa, and I don't know what to do. Even I couldn't sleep because I remember she even gave me a pillow, but I couldn't even put my head on the pillow because of the pain. And it made me to be sick for a very long time, like 3 weeks, because I felt pain in my whole body. Because I even felt like maybe I'm having like some blood clots in my head, or maybe my rib is broken, and it was to a point that I couldn't even just turn. I couldn't turn my neck. All I could do was just turn with my whole body because of the pain that I was going through. And at that time, I called I sent my mom a message. She just kept quiet. I called my dad, and my dad told me that he has other children to take care of. I shouldn't bother him. That is the response he just gave me when I gave him a call. And so I called my uncle, my dad's brother, last born, and I told him, Uncle, this and this has happened. And he just told me, where are you? Can I send you fare to come to my place? I said no, because my grandmother's place, I will have to pass my home before I reach there. So I was like, my parents cannot treat me like this, and then my uncle hosts me. It's gonna be another drama.
Yeah, true.
So I just said like, let me see what I can do and navigate. Maybe if things will worsen, I'll let you know. And so I stay in Kenya for like a year and a half. I was assaulted. It was early March, like I think it was on 12th March. And then like 2 weeks Corona comes. I'm depressed. At this time we are having a business, and I'm losing the business. I'm losing everything that we've gathered for around 4 years. And at this point, I can't go home. I've lost the guy, the business. My family is not there for me. And I just needed now to start life afresh. It was hard, Yeah, COVID came, there were lockdowns, then later on there were curfews. So I tried just trying to figure out what to do and just starting life afresh. But it was very hard on my side because I remember even going up to Mombasa and just trying to navigate about the hotel industry. But unfortunately, you could just find, as we went to drop my CVs, you could just find grasses grown at the gate. There are no tourists, and yeah, it was terrible.
At this point, you had graduated successfully.
Yeah, I had graduated back in, I think, 2018. Yeah, 2018 in either 2018 or 2019 August.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm looking for a job, but the hospitality industry cannot even been a place even to employ someone.
Yeah, it was adversely affected.
Yeah. So at that time I came back to Bungoma, to my aunt's place, that is sister to my mom. I talked to her and I told her, Auntie, me, I'm so depressed. I've reached the end of the end. What do I do? She said, you just come back and let us see what we can do. So when I came back, she was like, I have a connection to Gulf. Are you willing? Because things are not working on your side. And I said, of course, I will take the chance, because also I want to do away with the dramas that are happening in my life. And so at this moment, she does her connections, calling some people. And all of a sudden, within 3 days, I was in the office. I was in Nairobi. And so we started the process, that is medical and passport process. Everything was okay. We went for our training. We finished and we waited for our ticket. When I was done with my training, I went back to my aunt's place, because at that time it was the only place I was calling home. So going back, my aunt was like, you've stayed for 4 years and 9 months without going home, and despite whatever is going on between you and your parents, it is important for you to go and seek blessings. Yeah, just go home. There's something that they will say, speak over your life, and everything will be okay. And so when I went home, I didn't disclose to anybody that I was planning maybe to get out of the country. And remember, me going as a house girl, I don't want to despise that job, but that was not my dream. But because of situation, I decided that I will take the job. So I went back to my parents. They saw me, they prayed for me, and I stayed there for, I wanted to stay for like 2 days, but my dad insisted, like, just stay longer if there's nothing you're going to do and there's no job opportunity, because I get bored a lot. Yeah, because my mom at that moment, she was still teaching. She was a teacher. She had not retired. So I stayed home for around 2 weeks, and in those 2 weeks, the office called. I had put my mom as the next of kin, because when you go for your passport process, you need your parents' photocopy, ID photocopies. So I had my dad and my mom's identification cards photocopies. So I submitted with their phone numbers. So I didn't have a phone. I remember I had just put my SIM card in my aunt's phone. And so probably because of network or maybe something happened and they couldn't get me. So the next number they called was my mom. And they told her, we are looking for so-and-so. They explained themselves. And my mother gave me the phone. I remember just hearing the conversation from the kitchen. My mother was on the veranda. So my mother gave me the phone. I spoke to the agent. I remember it was called Alex. And then he told me, like, my ticket is out. And I was flying on, I think it was on 2nd of October. Yeah, and it was just a week too. And so my mom was so surprised and she was so happy all of a sudden, and I've known, like, my mom, maybe someone can feel like maybe I'm trying to put negativity on my mom, but actually my mom, she hasn't been wishing me well. Like, even if my dad brings something, she will prefer it to be given to my other sibling than me.
But not you.
Yeah, even if I'll go maybe to a relative, she'll make a call and say how bad I am. She will just speak of bad things, even when I hear on the phone, and I am a witness. I've been to so many places and I could hear my mom just making calls and saying, she's bad, don't do this, don't accommodate her. Yeah. And when my mom heard about it, she was so overjoyed, and I was so surprised, like, how this is not you towards me. And she told me, you know what, I'm going to retire in 8 months' time, and I have some assets that I've not developed. Those are some plots and a piece of land. So that means that I don't have any source of income and livelihood until I get my retirement benefits. And so she kind of convinced me to send her money, and she gives me her photocopy of her ID. And when I went and she tells me, don't tell your dad, because if you do, maybe he will want money and he will misuse the money. And I'm like, good, we strike a deal, because I've known my mom to be a very industrious person and I've seen what she has done with her money, and I trust her words because I know that my mom has property, and when she gets her money, it will not be like she's going to buy a piece of land, but instead she will develop what she has. So that means that she will not use most of her money maybe to get a property, and this is a sure deal that my mom will give me back my money. And so she told me, she asked me, what do you want to do with the money? And I told her I would wish to get a piece of land. And she said, on top of that, when I get my retirement benefits, I will work out for you so that you can go to Dubai for a hotel job. You know, it is better than this house chores, whatever, the nanny. And so, yeah, I was so overjoyed, and I was just looking forward to finish my 2 years, so that I can come back and maybe go earn good money, explore, you know, just...
Oh, the contract was 2 years.
Yeah, my contract was 2 years.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was so overjoyed even before I began my journey. And my parents pray for me, and I leave. And when I left to Saudi Arabia, I found some culture shocks, yeah, that I didn't expect, you know, racism, a lot of work, you know, and some of the things in the contract are just contrary with what you get on the ground. I was denied Wi-Fi, you know, I could get sick, and then I could beg my madam to take me to hospital. She couldn't take me to hospital. Do you know there are several times that I could take Feverdol for any condition that I had. That is the baby syrup, because she had adopted I found a toddler of around 8 months. So I could take the Feverdol for the baby, because totally there were no medication. So yeah, it was a very hard life. And I remember one time telling her, no, I cannot do this, because she could shout at me, she could overwork me, you know, during the day you are working, and then when she comes again, you have to go to the kitchen, you do all the preparations of the vegetables, the salads, you know, you fry the tomatoes, the onions, you do the cleaning of the dishes and the surface area. You know, it is really a lot of work. They not help you anything. The baby is there, the grandmother is there.
What time was she coming back?
She was coming back at around 1 or 2.
1 a.m.
1 p.m. She could leave for work in the morning at around 7:30, and then she would come in the afternoon. Most of the time she worked half day. And when she came back, I could just start afresh. It could be like my day has begun. Again, we go to the kitchen, and sometimes she could come and say, maybe today we are cleaning a certain room. And you know, she could come with soap and some sprays that are so highly concentrated, and we could clean the room, we could wipe everything. Sometimes we could disorganize a room. She could say that she wants maybe the bedroom maybe to be the dressing place. It means that you get off everything. You wash, she would bring in the pipe, and then you wash the whole room, you clean. It will take even 6 hours even just to clean one room. It was really a lot of work. And then I could lift heavy things like this, big cylinders, the 13 kg cylinder, you know, you carry up to the upstairs. Sometimes you could carry this bottled water, you know. It was a lot of work with so much stress. And I could even tell my mom, like, the working conditions are not okay, but she could keep on telling me, people are persevering, why can't you persevere, you know? And yeah, I kept pushing, because I knew what I wanted. I wanted a piece of land, and I kept pushing. And one of the most scary incidences that happened to me is when I think it was about my payment. I had worked for the first 2 months. I had not been paid. And I told my madam that if she doesn't pay me, then she should take me back to the office. So she took me back to the office. When we went there, I was just new. I didn't know how to speak Arabic. And so I was forced to go back to the same house, you know. And I had heard a lot of stories that if you go back to the same house after you have disagreed, maybe you can be killed, you can be poisoned, and there. As for me, I can say that house girls, they even don't have security of the government in Gulf or even the government back in Kenya. Maybe you're going through something in a house, unless you just escape. They call kukemboi. That is a Kenyan term used by Kenyans. So you unakemboi tu, unatoka kwa hiyo nyumba, you escape from the house. Yeah.
Then where do you go to?
Maybe you liaise with those people who live outside, then they will organize for your rescue, because the office, I can say that maybe 95% of offices in Kenya and even in Gulf countries, they don't come through for house girls. So it is very terrible. It is just you and your God, and maybe those people who can come through, maybe online family. Yeah, so your help is just outside there, not even in the office.
Okay.
Yeah, so actually it was, kazi ilikuwa ngumu sana, and I remember at one moment my mother's my madam's mother, that we used to call her Jida. Jida means grandmother in Arabic. So she fell. The kid I was taking care of, she was about 2 years, and then the grandmother was coming from, I think, from some other rooms. Then she was coming to the living room. Unfortunately, the kid just grabbed her cloth and she pushed, and then she fell. When she fell, she broke her hip joint. So I had to be a nanny, and I also had to be a caregiver, dressing her wounds, staying up too late, just turning her in the bed, washing her, taking her to the hospital, feeding her, changing her pampers. And sometimes you could find that her friends and even relatives would come very late, and stay even up to like 3 in the morning.
Just waiting for them.
Yeah, they were just beating stories. And at this moment, I need to cook for them. I need to serve them. I need to wash utensils. And then when they leave, I need to change the grandmother's pampers. And then I need to I had the schedule of even giving her medicine, and I could say the medicine is almost over, how she's feeling, how she's responding to medication. And if anything could go amiss, I'm telling you, my madam would really shout at me like, you want my mother to die. It was a very toxic environment. And then she denied me Wi-Fi. I couldn't even speak to my family.
And yet you are caring for her
mother.
Yes.
And I remember even just begging her to buy for me a phone from my salary, and she couldn't even buy for me. It took almost a year without her buying for me a phone. Like, my phone could just hang and shut down. The phone that I had at that time, and it even couldn't charge. I could charge the battery alone. I remember I used to have is it called a universal
charger?
Yeah. So I could just charge the battery alone, and she didn't care. Yeah, she didn't even care or bother. And come during time of winter, I could even request her that she could get some maybe warm clothes for me. And she could refuse even to buy from my salary. I remember I just went with one jacket, and it got worn out. And the next season of winter, I didn't have any pullover, anything. And then I could request her to buy for me from my salary, and she could refuse. Even clothes, she could refuse. She could just do orders for her, and she had only one daughter. She could just maybe do some orders, and you could see people delivering clothes and all they needed. But as for you, she couldn't order anything for you, even from your salary. And I remember one of my bosses, he wanted to donate clothes, and I got a certain jumper, and I told him, don't give this one out, I'll be using. So I had only that jumper, and it was very hard for me because it was hard even to wash, because if I take it off, what will I wear? And it was very cold, Yeah, it was a very big challenge. Yeah, and so I stayed there for 3 Ramadans. They were not easy because if I remember with my family, it could take even 40 days of Ramadan. That is, it meant sleeping late every day, like past 1, and other house girls, they are called shagalas in Arabic. Other shagalas would maybe wake up at midday, But as for me, I would always be on because I have a small child who is around 2 years. She needs to shower. I need to change her pampers. I need to wash her clothes. Grandma is sick. I need to take care of her medication. I need to watch how she's faring on, and just the entire house is on me. It was a 20 room house.
20 rooms.
Yeah, and it
cleaning
had,
all the rooms.
Yeah. I used to clean all the room. And you've forgotten, I would even clean the balconies. Yeah, outside there, and I could even wash the vehicles. They were 3.
Even the vehicles.
Yeah, and I could even, and sometimes they used to have beehives somewhere. They could make me fetch water in jerry cans, put in the vehicle, and then we go and pour in tankers. I can't tell. They had a term that they would call. Just some shrubs out there, because bees need flowers, and they don't have flowers in their home. So they could take beehives far away, and I heard that nobody will take the beehives. So they just go and put somewhere, maybe along the roads where flowers are, and put water there. So there was a lot of work.
So you were doubling up as a caregiver, a housekeeper, a shamba boy.
Yes, everything.
On the same salary.
Yeah, on the same salary. You can imagine. And even she couldn't buy for me soap. And I remember she was, I think I can say she was a rich woman, because she could buy things that you look at every month and you just be shocked. Like soap was 5 riyal. For me, she could take even 3 months without buying for me even shampoo or any basic need. I could just buy from that salary of 900. She couldn't even, she gave me a SIM card, and she refused even to buy for me airtime on my salary. So even that SIM card just became useless, and it was blocked. Yeah, and then during summer, now it is very hot during the day and very cold during the night. So it meant that we went out more than during winter, where we just stay in the house. So I could just do my house chores in the morning, during the day, and then at night we could go even up to 3 a.m. just going to the municipal courts, where they'll go and meet their friends, or they could just go and relax, Yeah. And that even meant a lot of work, because I had to do some packings of snacks, the baby's clothes, taking carpets and some chairs to the vehicle, and sometimes we would even prepare food. So that it was a lot of work. Yeah. And then when you come back at around that 3 a.m., you need to start even offloading, changing the baby, feeding the baby, They just come and go and sleep. And as for you, you'll have to offload everything before you go and sleep. And you have no off. As for me, I didn't have an off. I was there for 2 years and 5 months. I didn't have an off. I was just working every day, whether I was sick, whether I was not sick. I was just working.
You are turned to a slave.
Yeah. I was so depressed until there was a time I wanted to even to escape. Nilikuwa nataka kukemboi, because it was just too much on me. And she could insult you, she could shout at you. And I didn't know, maybe that is their character, because so many people would say that is how they are. But actually, to me, I felt it was very unfair, because, whatever I'm giving you, like I deserve peace to work.
Yes.
But peace was not there. She could really shout at me. You are eating, I'm paying you salary, and there is nothing that you are doing. No. Yeah, those are the words she could tell me.
What about the food? Were you getting the food
Yes, I was getting
sufficient?
Yeah, food was there. Food was enough, but it was sometimes she could just tell you, she could send you while you are eating, you need to stand up and maybe go and do something. She didn't have that mentality that maybe as for you as a house girl, you need even time to sit down and eat. Yeah, so when she was not there, you could have peace to eat. But when she was there, food was there, yes, but she couldn't mind that it is maybe you are eating. She could just make you stand and go and do whatever she wants. Yeah.
Did you try to renegotiate the salary with her?
You know, she would say that you know, according to what you are doing, even there, she would compare her house with her other houses. You know, they have big families. You know, they have 7 children. You know, I don't know what you are very lucky. You know, she would always say like that. You are lucky because the family is not big. But actually, you can say that the family was not big, but I can say that the family was big and the chores were very many. No, because she had a grandma, she had the adopted child, she had her own teen girl. You know, these people, both of them, they eat different foods and they have different needs. You know, the way you approach them, it is not like working for a group, like you'll cook just one meal. You know, the way you care for a baby and a grandmother is different. You know, and the teenage girl was also there very lazy. You know, she cannot even wash anything. She cannot spread her bed. She cannot do, even if she combs her hair, she'll just leave the hair on the comb. You'll be the one to go and clean her dressing table, arrange the clothes, put back in the wardrobe. Tomorrow morning you come, she has taken her mattress, she has put down. You know, the blankets are all over, the clothes are all over, the dirty clothes and clean clothes, they are just mixed, and she would just get all of the clothes and tell you to go and wash again. You know, it was a lot of work. You know, and the husband also is there herself. She's also there washing for them, serving them. You know, and they had 3 kitchens. They can cook from upstairs, outside, or inside the house. And sometimes you could just go and sleep, and then unfortunately wake up in the morning just to find the kitchen is dirty all of a sudden. You know, and in the houses you don't like sleep with dirty utensils. You'll wash everything even if it means 4 a.m. But you wake up in the morning, they have cooked, the salads are all over, they got things from the fridge and from the freezer, they have not returned. Now you start again, you'll just be meeting plates and those water glasses everywhere, even in the balconies. They just drink and leave it there, you know. And if you don't pick, it becomes a problem. Like, why didn't you see this? But you know, you have already a lot of chores that even do not allow you even to realize that they left something there. Like, they have these 2 small cups that they serve coffee. They are called finjal. Now they just be drinking and dropping those finjals everywhere outside, you know. And so it is your work to how will you know that yesterday when you went to sleep they took coffee and left those finjals outside there, you know. Then they can just live in a strategic place, like in a place that you not even be in a position to maybe think that they can live there, you know. And when she comes back, she just be like shouting and shouting and shouting. Yeah.
When did you now realize that you need to Kemboi to go away?
It was when I went to the office and I had talked to my agent, and unfortunately my agent told me that I should tell my host family to take me back to the office so that the office can help me. You know, at this moment I don't know how to speak Arabic, and in case of a problem there, to my thinking, I think that it is the office back in Kenya to call the office in Gulf and tell them maybe our girl is not safe. But the problem was that he left the whole baggage on me. Remember, I'm as a shagala, a house girl, I'm not free even to walk in that country. I don't know anywhere. So I depend on your help. But when you send me to the office that I even don't know and don't have contacts, that means that even you are making my life to be more insecure and in danger. So fortunately, I was taken to the office. But as I said, the office just told me that was not a big issue. And my madam said that the family was small. And then they turned against me. They were like, you know, you are very lucky. There are people who have very big families, you know, and they are persevering, you know. And when I tried to resist that I want to be changed, the house to be changed, I was told like there's something with me that is maybe I'm trying to, like they saw me in a negative way. Why am I resisting, you know? And this is what she has said. You know, she spoke in Arabic and I couldn't understand. So this person, he was a black Arab, but he knew English very well. So when he turned to me, I can't really tell if he believed whatever he was told and he couldn't believe me, because when I tried to resist the more, he was kind of becoming violent. And I had overheard that, even nannies are being beaten and even locked up. So I felt like instead of continuing arguing with him, let me just go back with them, but still I will just kemboy. Because nikika hapa nikatali hapa, I'll be beaten, and the worst can even be done to me. So let me just go back. If they will kill me, let them do whatever they will do to me as my family. But my mind was just to escape. So we went back, and I was so afraid. Like every time I was so like suspicious of what I'm being given to eat. Every time when I go to sleep, I could be so suspicious, like, will she come and do anything to me, And I just kept this. I even didn't tell my agent or even my parents, because I knew they would be scared and maybe they would make even the situation more worse, And so I just kept quiet, and I was just praying that God will just make everything to be at peace. And as time went by, I was paid my salary, and life went on very well. Just despite the challenges that I went through. And so I just started counting my days of coming back. And so 2 years came to an end, and I was supposed to come back, but she was not willing to release me. She was like, I want you to go and come back. So, as for me, I said, I don't want to lie. I'm going, but I'll not come back, because I'm very tired, and I think I want to go and do something else. But she kept insisting for 5 good months, like, or maybe you just continue sending money. We just give you a month of rest. We bring in someone else, and for you just rest. And then after resting, you'll embark to work after just a month of resting, but don't go to Kenya. So I refused all their offers until she told me that I want to teach you how, I want to pay for your driving classes so that you can act as a driver and as a nanny. But when I looked at the duties in that house, they were more than enough, and even I don't have enough day. And then when I work as a driver again, this means that even maybe she'll just add for me maybe like 200 or 300 reals, and I'm not even given Wi-Fi. I don't have basic needs. So even if she adds some money on my salary, it means that this money still will just go to my basic needs, and I'll just still remain with the 900. Like, she was not even doing a favor, or just maybe making things better. So for me, I still refused the offer. So I stayed for 5 months, and later on, she accepted to have my ticket. So we woke up one day, and she told me, I'm just trying to see how maybe the tickets like how much they cost, like there are times the tickets are high, and there are times that the tickets are low in price. So I think she was waiting at a specific time so that she can do the booking. So she told me that I want you to pack your things and then give me your suitcase so that I can take it to the airport, or I don't know where to go, so that they can measure the weight. Because she was like, if the weight is over the required maybe kgs, just pay for that. And I was just like, I said fine. And we had a measuring weighing scale in the house, so I had done prior, and I told her that the kgs were 23 and the maximum was 24. She said it's okay. So she went and brought for me a small padlock with 2 keys. And then I was like, our Kenyan padlocks have 3 keys. Why is this one having only 2, and it is new inside a box? So it raised an alarm, but I just kept quiet. So what I did, I just locked my suitcase. I've already measured it is 23 kgs. But unfortunately, when I came to Kenya, I reached Dubai, and I received a message from the lady I left in that house, and she was like, I've gone to Madam's bedroom, and I've found your clothes, even the inner clothes, like kilos ilipita, were the kgs maybe more than they required. I said, no, she didn't tell me anything, and she was so happy when she handed me the passport on the way. And then I was so shocked, like, why would she do this to me? And she kept mentioning and she kept taking photos and sending to me, and the happiness of coming home just went down like that. I was not the same person, keeping in mind she paid my flight without food, and people were being served on the plane. And I didn't have food, I didn't have water, I didn't have anything to eat the entire journey, And
it's how many hours journey?
We left Saudi Arabia. I think it was around noon. I had not eaten because I was just preparing lunch. She came and told me, Shawa, you are leaving now. And she just sat there on the table. So I had like less than 30 minutes to prepare myself, And then when I left, I had just taken breakfast only. Imagine, and I had to sleep in Dubai and then to take another 4 hours flight to Kenya. And at that time, I didn't even have any money. So luckily I just found some Kenyan ladies that we shared whatever they were bought with their bosses. So it was a very bad ending for me because I came without clothes. Then, like you've stayed with people for 2 years and 5 months, there was literally nothing even they gave me. Like, when you go back home, we are so grateful, nini. There was nothing like that. Yeah, so I came, there were no clothes, no food on the flight. But remember, the last 2 months before I came, my mom was forcing me to extend another year, now to stay for 3 years. And I was like, I cannot do it. So she started just being arrogant and telling me, even my sister had money. She bought all men, but she still died of AIDS. That is what my mom told me. It really broke my heart because I was like, you are my mom. I've been sending you money, 70,000 after 2 months. I've been there for you for 2 years. The only thing I bought for myself was a very cheap phone that when you convert into Kenyan money, it was around 9,000 and something because it was 329 reals. And then I just bought one pair of shoes. Because you remember, if I could order anything, my madam could not even buy for me from my own salary. So there is a message that is even in my phone specifically. I wrote to my mom and told her, put for me aside 100,000. When I come, I want to buy a phone, I want to buy clothes, and even I want to go to Mombasa to treat myself because I felt like I had been through so much.
Yeah.
And my mom told me, at this moment I'm coming back, my mom has gotten her retirement benefits. That is maybe 3.5 plus the shares. And then she comes and gets, she goes for a loan of 600,000. So when I want to come back, my mom is against my coming back. But as for me, I was tired. I was depressed. I didn't have even energy. Like literally when I would wake up, I would feel like I've been beaten, Nimepigwa na rungu. Mwili, like the whole of my body is aching and paining, I couldn't even do more. Sometimes I couldn't even work. I could just sit, Yeah, I was no longer productive. And so I said it is time to go home. And so when I came home, I was not even talking to my mom because I had already blocked her. And so the last salary that I worked for, now I'm in another relationship. And with this guy, I'm kind of, so you have built a house, it has no electricity. Have this money because you also have harvested sugarcane and maybe you have some money. Let's put this money together so that we can know what to do. So when I came, imagine it was just in a span of 1 week. This guy had no even single cent. After coming to Kitale, I was picked with my friend at the airport. So we went to her place. She's called Rhoda. I slept there. Then there is another family friend to my uncle. Now the one whose wife sponsored me back in Moi. So he took me. He's a bishop. He took me. I spent some 3 days in his home in Nairobi, Uthiru. Then I traveled to Western. So the first day I'm going to meet my so-called fiance, whatever. Do you know alifuliza ugali moja na samaki moja. Sikushiba, ugali kadogo hivi. And this someone who sent like 60,000 in a week's time. Na amevunamiwa, you're expecting this person to have money.
Yes.
And so he was just behaving in a depressive way. I don't know, he was like a mad person. I was told he was battling, I don't know, cerebral malaria. I had a lot and I was like, I'm giving him time so that he'll tell me, here is the money, this is your portion, and this is my portion, and this is what maybe we are going to do.
So you had dated for some time. Was it online dating, that fiancé?
He's someone I had known. Yeah, for a very long time.
Okay.
Yeah, so after I broke with my guy, I was like, he's the person I loved. And so I looked for him, like, yeah.
That's why you sent the money.
Yeah, he's someone I really know. My family knows him very well. Okay. And his mom and my mom have been colleagues for around 15 years. Yeah, so I loved him and I trusted him. And at this time I'm coming, he has no money and he's not even talking about it. And as for me, I'm not asking because I'm trusting him, because it's just a week's time. Kwani, where is 60,000, you know? True. And Maki, you know the mistake that I did? When I was back in Gulf, I borrowed some money, then I put together with my money and I gave him. So he told me, you know what, I'm going to harvest maize and I need cash maybe to do 1, 2, 3, you know, running up and down in the offices. And we were like, okay, if you get your money, you'll give us back our money with an interest. You know, it was so joyous that tutapata interest. Now it is like Shylock. Yeah. Do you know what? Hakunirudishia hiyo pesa, na hiyo pesa nilikuwa nimemtumia from my friend. Like, I even literally connected him to my friend. They talked on phone. Na ikawa sasa even this lady akamtumia pesa kutoka kwa M-Pesa yake. The M-Pesa was not even reading my names. Imagine he didn't pay that money. Hiyo pesa ilikaa almost 5 months. I paid. But again, the mistake that I did, I was like, oh no, we are going to settle down. There's no problem. Again, I sent him the money. Coming back, hakuna shilingi hata moja, you know, and I kept quiet. So I stayed home and my mom was every day saying, you know what, your dad sold land. In this home, we don't eat. We just take tea and mandazi. So me, I kept quiet, back in my mind knowing that my mom has gotten her pension, her shares, and her shares at that moment. So mi pesa yangu iko, mimi nenda kununua shamba. And then story ya Dubai, I was not in for Dubai because I felt I was so tired and I just wanted to settle down. I was like, hii miaka nimefika 29 going to 30, nikisettle down si vibaya, because now this person, he has built his house, you know. When we go, he has his money, I have my money, my mom will give me money, you know, we are going to start a family, you know. The whole of the marriage thing was in my mind. So when my mom kept telling me that they don't eat, I was so shocked, because when I went to Gulf, my mom had 8 months to retire. It means that she had salary. I didn't leave a kid with my mother. My last born sister had cleared college. You know, she didn't have school fees. So my mother and my brother's son and my dad, just their basic needs, and are not even paying rent, and they have a cow. How much was it costing in a month? It was very little, you know. But imagine my mom was getting her little salary. I was sending her my salary of 70,000 and above. After 2 months, still I'm coming back. Hakuna pesa yangu. I bought a cow with my first salary, that was 26,000. At no point I was told that the cow couldn't even maybe get pregnant. They sold my cow without telling me, you know. I came back, hakuna ng'ombe.
So they told you after you had come back?
I came back, I went actually kwa zizi ya ng'ombe. I got, nikapata ng'ombe wawili. Moja nakumbuka, I was sent photos with my dad. My mother was gifted during her retirement. And this other one, my sister wedded. So so they gave dowry of 2 calves. So, and I think traditionally you don't keep them. So they sold and bought another one.
So you're like, where's my cow now?
Where's my cow? Because ng'ombe 26,000 ng'ombe kubwa. So mimi nilijua ni indama na hii ng'ombe. Ng'ombe yangu hakuna siku nimeambiwa ng'ombe iliuzwa, you know. My mom was like, niliweka ceiling board, nilinunua mesh wire, but these things we didn't discuss. Yes. And even if you did that, the agreement was that use my money. Yes, alafu mimi utafanya nini? Utanibaia shamba. So at that moment amanza kuwa kisirani, and then my guy was working ni mtu wa mambo na agriculture, you know, these machines, greenhouses, you know. So ikawa he was working for a certain person in the government. So akaniambia, I want to go back because I left my clothes and I had some things to do. So what do I do?
siniende then utanifuata after you've cleared with your mom on what to do. Hey. Then this person, you know, do you know, ndio nimefika Kenya, amefuliza, I don't know, 200 shillings, amenunua kasamaki kamoja na kaugali kamoja. Then this person is convincing me to give him 50,000 shillings. Na unajua nimeingia box kabisa, nataka madha nipe do zangu nimuongeze hii 50k.
Oh, you want to add
anataka
50 on top of 60.
Kazi, yeye anataka kununua kazi nini sijui Kakamega, sijui nani anampea connection, anunue kazi, you know, and he's even promising me a lot of good things. And you know, I have forgotten, I gave him money when I was in Gulf. I also took my friend's money. I convinced my friend kumkopesha pesa. This is, you know, around 40,000.
Yes.
Atuongelee pesa kidogo. Hii around 40,000 hakuwa ilipa shilingi hata moja. Nimemtumia pesa like a week nikikuja Kenya. Nimekuja kuna pesa, actually amefuliza, but still I want my mom to give me money ninunue shamba ama okay my savings. Still I want to give him 50,000. You know, I even couldn't read that this person maybe is using me. It's not even love, you know. Okay. So ikafika hiyo place ni akaniambia, I want to introduce you to my dad because the mom is late. I want to introduce you to my dad and alafu nirudi kazi. When you are done with your mom, we'll see where to settle. If at all I'll go with you, maybe you look for a job or you do a business, or we just find a place where we can first settle, because the idea was not to settle in his home. So I stayed for around 2 months. My mom was not even saying when we are going even to the bank to do the transaction, or she asked me which is the best place for you to buy a piece of land.
At this point, she has not broken the news to you that she doesn't have the money.
2 months. And in fact, I came to know about the money thing after around 4 months. So at this moment, I'm just in waiting. Pesa hakuna. I cannot afford 50 shillings to plait my hair. At this moment, I even don't have clothes. My sister gave me 2 trousers and 2 t-shirts. Zenye alirudi akaniambia nimpatie. My last born sister. During her wedding, I was told with my mom convinced me to give them a loan of 100,000. Aongeze kwa harusi. Ameongeza kwa harusi, nimekuja sistangu amenitisha nguo zake zenye amenipatia nguo mbili. And do you know, my sister nimemlea from form 1 to form 4. All the academics days, all the AGMs, shopping, kila kitu ni mimi. Afukuzwe fee ni mimi. You know, I've been there for my sister. But mimi hakuna nguo ingekuja fashion kwa kunilia sistangu. I've done everything for her. Like me, I could even call her my first child. My firstborn, because of mi nimekopa mpaka madeni, ni make sure my sister ako sawa. Okay. But at this moment, naenda kwa kina this guy for introduction. Bado madha jongelea do, unaona. I can't plait my hair, I can't afford lotion, body oil, I don't have soap, I don't have sanitary towels, I even don't have clothes. Remember, tule tunguo tunye nilikuwa nato zilitolewa huko zote. Actually, I even didn't have even panties. This lady that came to meet me at the airport, she gave me 4 panties and 2 bras, you know. And some of the clothes, they were small because she's short, you know. So, sistangu amenipea nguo mbili, amenipea trouser mbili na t-shirts mbili, that later on she sent me a message and told me, ata kama ni chafu, eka kwa pikipiki ikuje mwenye nitalipia. Someone I've taken care of. This guy waits for me. And mi naenda kwa after 2 months, madhe ongelei do. Kila siku ni kusema, mwende mtafute kazi kwa hii boma mtakula nini. And when she says that, you know, we are 3 girls. My sister amefanya harusi, she's constantly at home. So sijui ni kama alikuwa ameolewa ama ni nini, because she's always at home. My mom is paying her rent. She's taking care of how she will eat. It's not bad because maybe financially she's not able. But at least we could take turns of taking care of our parents. Mimi nimeenda, I've worked for 2 years and 3 months. I've fed my parents. I've done all that I did. But I've come home. I've not even relaxed. I've not even been... Ngombe imeuzwa, sijambo mambo na savings. Every day my mom is telling me in Luya, ati mche muime kasi, mlalia sina mungo mno. Papo nyoka kusia kumukunda. Nona? So, mi najiuliza, when I was there, what were you eating? Because I have come suddenly, there is no food. Suddenly in this home you don't eat. So, what do I do? Like my mom felt it was good and better for me to go and just work and just be sending money. She was not even worried about my career, my future, my life. Like, age is advancing. What can I do as a parent? She would just say, this is what I have. And what do you think you can do? What are you passionate at? Which skills do you have? How can I help you? Just to build. But for her, that was not in the mind. You know, even coming, I didn't tell her I was coming. I just came because I felt like I cannot do it.
Yeah, it was like a surprise.
Yeah, and she was so shocked, and she just kept telling me to go back. So I waited. She never mentioned about the money, and then I went for introduction. So one day I gave her 200 shillings, and I tell her, Mom, I'm going somewhere. I'll come back after 3 days. Going to visit the guy. I'm sick. You know, and climate had really affected me. I was so sickly when I came back. And I told him I don't have the energy even to come because even my body looks terrible, very deteriorated. And your family will be shocked, like, umetuletea nani hapa? Nikamwambia, let me first recover before I come. But he insisted, you know, akaniambia hapana, just come over. So when I went, my mom sent his last born brother to come to that place. And you know, with lawyers, whether you are married or not, once someone from your mother's side comes, you know what it means, you know. It's a very bad sign. And so the whole family was like, what did he come to do? But actually, my uncle came to tell me, you know what, your mother wants, anataka uende kazi. What are you doing here? Mamako anataka uende kazi. And you know, when I felt sick, I asked my mom, you talked about you had applied for a loan. The loan that you said last year January, it is now August. The money has not come, you know. She has not given me anything. And so my uncle was like, mamako anauliza ni pesa ngapi unadai? So I was like, Mom knows the agreement. Why is she asking me about the money? And so things were not okay. I really cried, like, why is my mom doing like this to me, you know? And they didn't even come to tell me that maybe mamako anataka kupatia a certain amount of money, or yeah, I talked to mom about my sickness. But now the thing was that mamako hakutaki ukae hapa, anataka uende utafute kazi. So I felt like I'll just be working and bringing for you money. You don't feel like I also have a life to live. And so hapo ndo mambo ilianzia. So when I asked her about money the second time, she started insulting me through messages. She started sending relatives, those who live around and those who live far away. She could just send them, enda umwambia hakuna pesa. Then she was like, nilimsomesha. So mimi nikajiuliza, if my mom took me to school, and I'm not the only one. She has 4 children. She has taken all of us to school. She has even paid for my cousins. How comes I'm the first one to pay back her money? And even that was not the agreement. And what qualified me to go to Gulf was an ID and a birth certificate. Mbona unasema ati ni umejilipa? School papers didn't take me to that job. Why are you taking my money? And that was not the agreement. Then ikakuwa tu hivyo, she started threatening me, she started insulting me to an extent I told my dad. He didn't take an action. So I went to my dad's family. Those are my uncles. I told them, some were off, go to the police station, report have an OB, I don't know what, file a case. But some were like, don't do that. Because my mother had gotten hold of my documents. Like I didn't have anything, even an ID. So ikakuwa, wacha akupatie documents kwanza before you can proceed and do anything. So nikakuwa patient, but one day my dad tells me that that was this year around July there. He tells me he's going to Nairobi, and I'm like, Dad, I want to make a move. What do? I need my papers, nitafute kazi. So the time I went home, my dad came. Nikamwambia sitakuja mpaka nyumbani. Nitasimama hapo kwa kona ukuje na my documents. Then when my dad came, he had nothing in his hands. So when I saw him, I started crying. And I told him, like, Dad, you don't know the kind of life I'm living. I'm sleeping hungry, I'm walking, I don't have clothes, you know. Life is so hard. Na kwa mgonjwa sina hata venye nezenda hospitali, you know. Ni kuchangiwa na changiwa ndio niende hosi. Sometimes there was a day even nilishikisha my phone. Mpaka gas. Nashikisha gas, nipewe pesa ndo niende hosi. Unaona. So I started being sick constantly, na collapse. Yeah. Mpaka there was a time nikenda nikashonwa. There was a time nikekwa maji around chupa 6. So I told my dad, like, I've not been living a good life and you people are alive. I'm like, an orphan, you know, because my mom had been threatening me. And I think I collapsed. Then my dad carried me mpaka nyumbani, I think maybe on a motorbike. I just woke up at around 10 p.m. and I just had my mom crying and going around the house, crying literally like someone has died. You know, God, mtoto alinipatia pesa, saizi ananidai, hizi pesa zinataka kuniua, ungenionyesha kwa maono, singekula hizi pesa. You know, she was just speaking a lot of lies. That was like, I just kept quiet. Then morning came. Then she just came with a panga. Then she woke me up. Amka urudi kwenye umetoka. Enda uniletee polisi. Enda uniletee our relatives. Kwanza mimi si mamako. She was shouting. Then she followed me na hiyo panga. So I ran to my dad's bedroom. Akakuja kaanza kukata mlango. Alikuwa akikata panga moja inaingia mpaka ndani. I started screaming, you know, and all the windows, we don't have an emergency window. So I was like, Dad, amka. Amka dad, tutakatwa. I was crying. Tukatoka, nikamwambia dad, hata usivae viatu na usivae sweater. Chukua tu twende ukavalie nje. Then nikatoka. So alikuwa almost anikate, akakata ukuta. Then nikaanza kuscream. Then there is my dad's cousin. She's our neighbor. She's called Auntie Rosemary. So her sons came. So they had me screaming at that time. It was around 4 or 5 in the morning. So they came and then I told them to rush so that they can go and rescue my dad. Nikamwambia dada kwa nyuma anaweza uliwe, endeni mumuone. So they came, we called the area chief, we told him what happened, but he didn't come. So we waited for the chief to come, he didn't even surface. And so there's a neighbor there, I'll not mention her name. She told my dad, what you do, because now this issue has escalated and it is even beyond your control, just go and call your relative, as she said. So my dad akaenda akaita the brothers, chairman wa kwetu, akaita wajomba wakakuja. So when they came, my mom was just standing at the gate, holding a fimbo na kifiekeo na panga. Then she was just crying and going around the house. You know me, I was just locked in one of the neighbors' houses. So I was just watching and hearing what she was doing. She was crying like someone has died. Oh God, oh I don't know what. She was just crying and she doesn't want anybody to enter. And you know, she's the one who said, go and call for me those people. So they tried to talk to her and then later on she accepted. And then they went and had a sitting. So they talked, wakamaliza. Then wakasema, because of what she did, I need to be brought back to the family because she had rejected me. Like I'm not the child of that home. So they said they will officially bring me back. So they made arrangements of bringing me back after 2 weeks. So we had another meeting at my grandmother's place. That is where my dad was born, with my uncles, but my dad was not there. He was in Nairobi. And so they were even trying to get the reason and the root cause of all these things. And so they also mentioned the same thing. Did you do it? I said, no, I have never slept with my dad, you know. And so they said it is okay, as we had arranged, you need to go back home because we are not doing this for you alone. This is for you and even for your siblings, because whatever happened, it is going to affect the whole family. It is not only you. And if your life will not be okay, even your siblings, their life, maisha itakuwa hivyo juu. Once alikuwa analia kipiga tumbo, once amekukatana, weni mtoto wake biologically, amesharibu hata wengine. So we are taking you back, not just for you, but for the entire family, you and your siblings. So wakanirudisha, but actually she said hakuna pesa yenye atanipatia. Ya akaamka akasema hakuna pesa yenye nitampatia hata kitaka nipeleke police station. So we are talking of 826,000. So whatever she said that mimi mtoto alikuwa ananitumia pesa na alikuwa ananipatia instructions. She never mentioned any instruction that I gave her. But one of my uncles told me, you know what, when your mother was about to build this plot, she started buying some materials before she got her pension. Probably that is your money. Because, you know, for me, I was sending, like, even if I sent you the receipts and you saw them, every month I could send like 65,000, 55,000, 70,000, you know, after 2 months or after a month and a half. So it means that this was a lot of money, and now that she didn't have any school fees, it means that there's some truth that maybe she used part of my money to to get some materials, maybe the doors, I even don't know. Yeah, so I think according to what my uncle told me, I can feel that maybe part of my money went to the building of rentals, because if I can connect the dots, she told me, umekata kunijengea rentals, unataka kukuja Kenya. Watu huwa wanavumilia. Hata dadangu alikuwa na pesa, kanua wanaume na bado alikufa ukimwi, you know. So she was so bitter that I've decided to come back to Kenya instead of maybe going for 3 years and helping her build the rentals. But the question is, if she got pension and she didn't give me anything, and she wanted me to build, maybe to help her build the rentals, where was I even going to benefit? Could I have come back after 3 years and just gotten nothing? Yeah, so she has been threatening me, she has been insulting me, and I have messages, but I even don't know what to do, because I've been told go and report, but relatives are like, she's your mother, you don't need to sue her, you know. Yeah, but I can't say that I'm okay, because this year has really messed me up, and what I'm counting is that I've lost 1.25 million. That is 826 to my mom, and 250 to that guy. Yeah, and so you can remember the 100,000, the 60 that I gave him a week to coming, and then the 40,000 that I gave him when I was there, hizo zote zilienda na maji. Then when I came back, I went in for a loan, and then we started a horticulture project. So tulipanda mahindi, tukapanda cabbage, tukapanda nyanya, we did butternuts, you know, and so I had to leave everything for security purpose. So I can say that actually my mom and that guy have really messed me up, and I'm not myself, because I have been so depressed. I have been suicidal. So many times I've really wanted to kill myself. And even I've been telling my dad, like, Dad, I want to take away my life, because at this moment there's no job. You don't have anywhere to, maybe to a specific place to live. You don't have a family. You cannot even count on your siblings. You know, your parents wamekutoka. That guy amekutoka. You know, because I went and bailed him out. Mtoi wake alikuwa shule, I went and paid school fees for his child. You know, because for me, I knew that I'm building a family. And now that kwetu akukaliki, I'm building here because this will be my forever home. But I didn't know, maybe along the way, maybe he didn't mean it. So at the moment, I can't say that I'm okay. Yeah, I'm really not fine.
I'm sorry for that. You have gone through a lot, actually.
Yeah.
That's a lot for one person.
Yeah.
Okay. So is your mom remorseful, or what happened?
She's not, because even after the meeting, she said that even if we take her to the police station, she'll not give me anything. And when I went home, I remember I was so sick, and there is someone who had just gotten some drugs for me, around 7,500. And I told them, niko na deni na niko mgonjwa. You know, I couldn't even walk for 100 meters. Nilikuwa naanguka. I was like, sorry to say this, but if you could have looked at me at that moment, I was looking like a cancer patient. I couldn't walk. I could just walk and collapse. I could walk and fall down, you know. But she looked at me, you know, and when she said that there is no money that I'm going to give you, because all my hopes were she can even give me even 200,000, even 100,000. But she said, ata anipeleke polisi, hakuna pesa yenye nitampea shilingi hata moja. I just went and got hold of my dad's brother. Now he's called Uncle Renson. My dad follows him. So nilienda tu nikamshikilia. Nikashika shati yake mbele na nyuma. And then I just broke down. I really cried with pain. Like, sasa, leo ndo nimejua, you know? And this happens like, after like 10 months is when I'm hearing her saying that hakuna pesa nitampea. And at this moment I'm sick. At this moment niko na deni ya wenyewe. At this moment it's like I'm homeless. And then I just heard the words, hakuna kitu nitampatia. You know, even my uncles were trying to convince her, because she has a piece of land. Auze shamba. Ataka ni point moja ama mbili. She just gives me something. Because they were like, you worked for it. You deserve something. Mimi sijai nunua nguo kwa mshahara yangu. Sijainunua anything kwa pesa yangu. Hivyo ndivyo pesa 1.2 million imeenda hivyo. I've never bought anything, and sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, even why should I even maybe have hope of tomorrow? Juu sasa sijui kama nitaamka, kama nitamkia police station pesa ya wenyewe. Na mimi mwenyewe nikijiangalia sina hata mali naweza toa pesa. And my mom is constantly threatening me. She's not remorseful. She's constantly threatening me. I've been to Nairobi, she made a phone call, akasema atanikatakata. I've been to Bungoma, she did the same. I was uko side za Tongareni, she called my uncle's wife. Akamwambia huyo mtoto amezoea kukuja huko. Nikisikia amekuja huko nitakuja nitamkatakata na panga, ni polisi tama. Even I have messages. Akiniambia ati siku yenye atapatana na mimi atanipiga polisi ndio itaamua. As for me, I'm not even triggering her. I'm not hata mambo ya pesa niliacha. Na nilisema now that amesema hakuna pesa yenye atanipatia. Na hiyo ni pesa mingi 800,000. Even if she gives me 100,000, it will not even wipe away my pain. True. She has made me to go through a lot of pain as my parent. Lakini what I know is that hakuna pesa yenye atanipatia. Juu amesema na ana insist. Even the phone calls that she's making, she's like hakuna pesa nitampatia. So for her najua hakuna pesa yenye atanipatia. And for the guy, hiyo pesa ya kwanza yenye nilimpatia, the 60,000, the 40,000, ikaenda hivyo. Nikalipa, zangu zikakunywa maji around that was over 100. Na hii loan yenye nilichukua bail out after ameshikwa na kulipia mtoi wake fee, pia kuna possibility hata nirudishia, because even doesn't call or text. Yeah,
He
so
blocked
for
you?
He didn't block me. I've never even called him because hata nashindwa nitapata wapi courage ya kumpigia. Yeah.
He moved on.
But I don't know, because me just nilimwambia tu pesa yenye nilikukopea inafaa nilipe, because I'm not in a position ya kwenda sell and yet you know very well that hii pesa nilikupatia ukatumia. Unaona, mimi nilimwambia hata pesa zangu nimekuachia, sitakudai chenye nilikupatia. All the money that I've given you nimekuachia, but what I want is that ulipe tu pesa ya wenyewe, because mimi ndo nilikopa na jina yangu, and I even don't have peace. Hata silali, nikiamka asubuhi silali. The question is that nitatoa wapi pesa wenyewe nilipe? This is like 150,000. Nitatoa wapi pesa nilipe nikuwe na amani? You know, I've been in a depressive mode that I even couldn't shower for like 3 days. Nakaa hivi hata kuoga sitaki kuoga. You know. So ni saizi ndio watu wameniongelesha, ndio nimeaccept, but the question is how do I get out of this? You know, the biggest thing is that how am I going to pay this money? And how is my life going to get back to order? Because I was thinking of a career, I was thinking of a business, you know, I had started doing farming, you know, I've been disoriented, like hakuna biashara, there's no going back to school, because I remember when I came, I even applied for a short course. I applied for 2 courses. I applied for cabin crew, and I also applied for a diploma in education, that is in KTTC in Gigiri. But I've never gone back to school because sikuwahi pata pesa yoyote. So nikasema let school be, let me focus on business. So whatever I started building in terms of horticulture imeenda hivyo. Savings zangu zote zimeenda na mom. So saizi the question is nitalipa aje deni ya wenyewe na naenda kuanza aje maisha. Yeah.
That is so hard actually.
Yeah. By the way, sina amani na silalangi. There are so many times that hata kuna time nilikuwa hata nataka kuanguka kwa fish pond. Nilikuwa naenda nafika kwa fish pond hivi naangalia hivi maji na narudi. I can't say that I'm okay, I'm not. Because the question is ninatoa wapi pesa wenyewe nilipe? Yeah.
Sorry for that.
Yeah.
Right now, how are you surviving? Where are you staying? Are you paying rent? Are you engaged in any economic activity?
Right now, I don't want to disclose the family that I stay with because of my security purpose. Yeah, because my mom bado ananitafuta.
Yeah.
I have had personally when I've been in Nairobi last week, some 2 weeks ago, when I was in Bungoma at my aunt's place, she called my aunt akamwambia atakuja without us knowing. When I was in Tongareni, she made even a phone call. I already have the evidence of what she has been doing, and I know that she will follow me up. So for now, I'll not disclose where I stay, the family that I stay with, because I know her intentions. But currently what I can say is that economically, I don't have a business. I've not gotten any job opportunity. I've been doing some applications in some hotels in Bungoma, but sijaitwa yoyote. Another thing is that I'm making some baskets. That is a skill that I'm doing that costs 2,000, and there is another size for 1,000. So I can just show you. There's this African basket that I'm making. Yeah, it is used to store food. You can use it for picnics and holidays when you're going out. Yeah, you put here your food. The food, it will be hot for maybe 12 hours. Yeah, so this is the skill that I have engaged recently. And also I make chapatis and some mandazis. So I can also do some house calls. But I would really wish to maybe just have a stable business so that I can maybe be able to be back on my feet. And maybe even if I'll never go back to school, but just be in a position to provide for myself. Yeah, because I know I'm so industrious. Yeah. Unfortunately, also this year I had a miscarriage. It really broke me. Yeah, so I've been through a lot, and I even don't know how to heal, and I don't know where to start, because actually if it is your parents or your siblings, they are fighting you to that level, you literally like have nowhere to go. And wakati watu wa kwenu wamekukataa, you cannot even trust other people. Watakukubali aje na watu wa kwenu wamekukataa. So it has been very hard for me, and I even don't know what keeps me going, because actually I can't say that I even ati niko na hopes kesho sijui ama niko na dreams. I think I've been so drained to an extent that nimelala nimeamka. I can't say that nimelala nimeamka iko sawa, but nimelala nimeamka. The question is that how am I going to pay this debt? Yeah, my sincere just pray that God open a way for me. I made a mistake of trusting my mom and trusting that guy, and today I'm in this space, and I'm like, God, it is either unitoe hapa, because I don't know how I'll get out of this. The only thing that I will just pray is that venye neza lipa deni ya the person I took the money from. Iyo tu, that is my biggest prayer of this year. Nikikuwa in a position nilipe hiyo pesa, hata kama ni kuanza maisha, hata kama ni even if it is from the streets, it is better. Lakini once I just think of that debt, I even don't have peace at all. I don't have peace. And when I'm so sure that my mother and that guy are not even going to come through in any way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe there is somebody who have heard your story, and maybe they are touched and they really want to talk to you or reach you out directly. How can they find you?
They can get me through my WhatsApp, maybe phone call or text message, or WhatsApp, that is 07 28 679 456. My name is Namiko Exengani. Yeah.
Sorry, sister, for what you've gone through.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a lot.
Yeah, this year has really broken me, because I look at my baby's clothes, and miscarriage is very heavy, you know, and it just came at a time, you know, I felt like maybe this baby will come to comfort me, because I had already known that I've lost the money. But actually, I've lost the baby, I've lost the relationship, I've lost my family, and I cannot say that I'm okay. Mentally, I'm not fine. I'm not fine, and I don't know how this year will end. I don't know how January will begin, because I cannot say that mentally I'm okay. I'm not.
Okay, sorry for that. We shall also be writing your number in the comment section. We shall pin it so that whoever wants to talk to you can do so. Thank you so much for at least finding some time to talk to us. I know your story will inspire very many people. Actually, I've had similar stories, and this is what people actually go through.
And one thing that I will just advise maybe people working in Kenya and in diaspora, be very careful with your savings.
Yes.
Don't involve your family that much. We have stories of people who relied on family and they succeeded, like they were faithful, but a bigger percentage is what I've gone through. Yeah, as for me, I had a lot of stories, just like mine, but I was like, I trust this guy, I trust my mom, but see where I am today.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so depressed, I've been so suicidal, and I cannot say that ati nimetoka ndani. I'm still in that space because apart from losing them and when you lose something, you grieve about it. When you lose maybe money and you lose maybe someone, not necessarily they're dead, but there is a season of grief that you go through, and for them, they don't care. So don't be careless with your hard-earned money. Just trusting people, you lend people money, you trust people with projects,
Yes.
Just be very careful. Have your own bank account. If it is supporting your family, just support them, but don't give everything. Don't trust them to do everything for you, because still you just come to land where I am today.
Yeah,
because I didn't know that they have turned against me in a way that I don't think we can ever maybe have a meal on one table. I don't think, because of what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.